Okay, everyone, this is my spoiler review of X-Men the Animated Series Season 3, Episode 5, The Phoenix Saga Part 3, Cry of the Banshee. This came out September 7th, 1994. Hit that sub button so you don't miss any of my reviews of X-Men the Animated Series, and I also review everything X-Men, where it's comics, figures, you name it. So you knew this episode was going to get wild from the beginning because Lilandra just taps Juggernaut and is like, leave Charles alone. And Juggernaut says back, or what, honey bunch? You're gonna give me a spanking? I thought that was like, oh my god, what a line. I also love a moment here where Juggernaut's about to throw an actual shelf at Xavier, but Xavier has a button on his chair that opens on the bottom and he's just able to slide out. But what was really cool was when Professor X probes Juggernaut's mind and makes him feel pain he's caused others. We get little flashback moments of them in their childhood being half brothers and how Juggernaut would bully him, and then we get a glimpse of Juggernaut's dad too, which was really cool, and it's a nice little nod to that comic story. But during this opening battle, Black Tom shows up, and we learn quickly, wants this all for money. He wants to get Lilandra to get paid by Eric the Red, but Juggernaut is like, I'm just here to get my half brother, and he throws him out the window and says, so long, Chuck. But this is where Banshee is there to save the day and save Professor X. But when we first hear his scream while he's using his powers to save Charles, it's really the first moment of the show for me. I can't take it seriously. It's such a funny scream. It's like so distractingly funny that I just laugh every single time. Now, Moira will ask Charles how he knows Lilandra is real. And he says, because I love her, Moira. So it's a nice little dig to Moira, who, broke Charles's heart. But it's also interesting how quickly Professor X is moving along here, moving quick. And finally, in this Phoenix Saga, Rogue shows up. She's off her mission, and she's like, it should have been me trying to fly that shuttle with my powers. Maybe things could have been different. Just seeing lines like this, clearly they didn't have Rogue there because it was a problem with the writing where they were like, well, how do we justify her not just doing what Jean's about to do? So that kind of revealed itself of why she hasn't been around, but they'll say it's because she was on an important mission. I just hope they can kind of justify it a little more by having some kind of flashback to whatever she was doing on her mission, or more explanation of it. I also love a moment here when Banshee says to Wolverine, someone needs to teach you some manners, and that's when Wolverine just stops and we see him from behind, and Jubilee's like, uh-oh. I thought that was great. Now, Eric the Red will show up for Lilandra, and then Black Tom's like, I'm not giving you her unless you give me this money. But Eric the Red's like, no. But what's really funny is Juggernaut just scares him straight. It's crazy to see that Eric the Red's no match for Juggernaut. That's how powerful Juggernaut is. But I love that at the Cassidy Keep, we see that Black Tom gets his money, and it's 10 million American dollars that Eric the Red just has ready to go. Like, where is he keeping that money? He's keeping it in a Chase bank. Now, Lilandra has a smart moment here where she telepathically communicates to Charles the Cassidy crest to give him an idea of where they would be, because that would obviously trigger someone there, and it does. It triggers Banshee to know that that is his family castle. And again, I just couldn't stop laughing when the Banshee flies the X-Men over and he's doing that scream. It is so funny sounding. And Wolverine's just holding his ears during it. And Wolverine has the best line where he goes, with a mouth like yours, we should have tried to just sneak in here with a marching band. So funny. Now, it's revealed Black Tom is Cassidy's little brother, even though he looks 20 years older, and we get this great showdown. And Rogue has an awesome moment here when Juggernaut is attacking Jubilee, and Rogue goes, hands off, fat boy, and slams him between a couple of walls. That looks so cool, especially in animation. And what's great, it's revealed that the Cassidy brothers, their powers don't affect each other, so they're basically like, all right, fists it is, and we get this fist fight between them. But what was great about that, it has this amazing shot that you'd see in a live action version of comic book shows and movies, where you see them fist fighting in the foreground, and then the center it's Gambit and Eric the Red fighting in the middle. and in the background you have Juggernaut still stuck in the wall. I thought that was just an amazing shot. And right after, you get another great shot where Jubilee, you see through her shades the reflection Juggernaut's about to kill Rogue, and she saves her. I thought that was great. Now, the strangest thing that happens, someone emailed Disney Plus, because when Eric the Red throws a grenade and stuns Wolverine, right before he breaks out of this stun, it quickly appears on the screen just a message that says cut out these frames. It's like the quickest little flash if you pause your screen. So they left that in, I guess, when it originally aired on Fox, and I'm just surprised they haven't trimmed that out or done a little tweaking to it on Disney Plus. So I just thought that was really funny that that's still there. Very strange. But we get this great moment again where the theme song kicks in and they break out of being stunned and they're about to fight. But what's cool is you get these point of view shots of someone's fist flying to see them, so you're wondering who this is, and that's when Gladiator shows up and Wolverine says they're coming out of the woodwork. So good. But Gladiator basically tells Eric the Red he failed the Emperor. He's like, you're supposed to have the crystal and Lilandra ready for the Emperor. He's like, well, I have Lilandra, but just didn't do the job. But that's an important line where Lilandra says, you are a warrior of honor. Why do you serve a madman like my brother? So he says he's just serving him because he serves whoever is on the throne. That is his duty, but that clearly is setting up some kind of redemption arc to make Gladiator eventually a good guy. And Juggernaut's like, why are we listening to Mr. Bad Hair Day? And then this is when the Gladiator just throws him super far. And what's cool is we see the X-Men here are no match for Gladiator, but it's great because in the back of your mind you're just thinking, okay, they're definitely setting up Phoenix to arrive here. And having the X-Men struggle is perfect because it sets up how powerful Phoenix actually is. And she has this great moment where she's like, Lilandra is under my protection, depart. I love Eric the Red just pieces out, and Gladiator uses all his bag of tricks. Nothing's working on Phoenix. And Phoenix shoots Gladiator into space and says, you may survive to tell your master to abandon his evil quest for the crystal. It was just a great moment for Phoenix and showing you how powerful Phoenix really is in this moment. And that's where Lilandra's like, are you the child of the Phoenix crystal? And she says yes. And that's when Lilandra says, you are the Phoenix the legend spoke of, the guardian of the Macron crystal. And she basically just tells her to help her protect this crystal from her brother. But that's when Jean says, he is here, talking about her brother D'Ken, the evil emperor, and he's making his arrival to Earth. It's a great cliffhanger like the show is known for, and it's perfect middle point for this saga, and it's another just strong episode. Really looking at this saga, it does not disappoint so far, and it can definitely go down so far as one of the strongest just stretch of episodes in the show ever. It's just so well done, especially taking storylines from comics that are very out there and bringing them into a space that works for a kid's animated show that it all makes sense still. So really good job on that. And like I said, the cinematography in animation was really, really good here. That really stood out for me this episode. And we still got great Wolverine lines and things picking up here. And Lilandra is a great character. And again, they still get Phoenix her big moment. So I'm giving this one a 9. Let me know down below what you thought of this episode. Hit that sub button. It's a brand new X-Men channel. It's going to be everything X-Men, so it really helps in so many ways to hit that sub button. And I'll see you next time.